just because I can, I have the microphones out of the frame, but you can see that it's in stereo because I am really good at audio, and I record my audio in stereo for that binaural sound. But I wanted to make this video because it's kind of sad because there's like a monopoly on the headphone and IEM community. There's like a handful of people that are well known in that community, and they are extremely incompetent and out of touch with the general consumer, the general masses of people that use audio products. For example, I use the Biodynamic DT990 250 ohms, and the audio community, the audio enthusiasts, they scoff at this thing. They say, "Oh, it's so terrible, blah, 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 blah." And if you look around, there are tons of million subscriber gaming YouTube channels where they're using these headphones. More so than what they're recommending. You know, the Sennheiser 38X Jubilee Mass Drop, whatever, Sennheiser garbage. It's not Jubilee, but they recommend all that shit. The Sennheiser HD 600, 650, that whole 600, 300 garbage. You know, they recommend Sennheiser HD 800S headphones because, oh, the wide soundstage and blah, blah. You know, they recommend this, usually Sennheiser crap. And then they poo-poo all over this. When this is more dynamic, more V-shaped, more fun. Once the pads wear in, the treble is smooth, clear, diffuse field level treble. Bright, clear, articulate. Sounds like real life with the sub bass rolled off because these are open back driver dynamic headphones. But these have a lot more bass impact, a lot more bass power than Sennheiser headphones. These have a lot more treble clarity, much smoother treble, much smoother upper mids. You know, you can look at the oratory measurements, worn ear pads. You know, these are just amazing. They have the smoothest response, most transparent sound on the market. And you have these audio snobs, these pathetic audio snobs recommending it. Again, it's a big circle jerk. It's a big cabal of these, you know, mass drop 38X, you know, and HD 800S promoting people. And they don't even think those headphones, the HD 800S sounds good for music. These sound amazing for music, sound amazing for gaming. Amazing soundstage, V-shaped, fun, warm, boomy bass, diffuse, sparkly, clear treble. You know, what do people say if you talk about the Sennheiser HD 650s? Dark, smooth, mid-rangey. It's all about those mids because it doesn't have any bass or treble. It has no dynamics. It's not fun. It's boring. It's lifeless. It's crap. I don't know how that would be good for gaming. And all of Sennheiser's shit, the Sennheiser Veil. And then they come out with the Sennheiser HD 800S, desperately trying to bring up the treble. You know, it's pathetic. Sennheiser is such a pathetic audio company, and they worship that shit. And then the SimGuide EM6Ls, these things, they measure just like the DT990s. These things, you get these. You get the same sound signature with earbuds, the SimGuide EM6Ls, that you do with the DT990 250 ohm. Same sound signature, same sound, except a little bit more sub bass because these are insulated, isolated, whatever you want to call them. So they trap in that deep sub bass rumble. Amazing. You know, it's amazing. And then if you want portable, Samsung Galaxy Buds Pros. All of these have the same frequency response, same warm boomy bass boost, same diffuse field level treble, you know, same 3 kilohertz, 2.8 kilohertz ear gain scoop for a wide soundstage. You know, 10 decibel bass boost, diffuse field level treble. They all have the same exact sound signature. You know, and get the same exact sound from all these mainstream things, less than, you know, a couple $100 for all of this stuff. And they just scoff at it. They just poo-poo it. It's the most disturbing thing I've ever seen in my life. And I just don't want to deal with it. I was thinking, oh, I could make videos saying, well, actually, you're wrong. Actually, your opinion is wrong. But why bother? Why bother? People are going to make their own decisions. I mean, I thought the HD 600s they had a piercing 5 kilohertz peak, no treble. The treble's ripped out, but they have these grainy treble spikes that shoot up. So there's grain in the treble, or there's no treble information. It's veiled, but they have these little treble spikes that shoot way up. So it's fatiguing, it's shouty in the upper mids with that 5K peak, it's piercing like a fish hook, grainy little treble shard spikes out of the depth of nothingness in the treble. No bass extension, no bass emphasis. I mean, HD 600, 650, all that shit, terrible. Lifeless, mid-rangey, shouty, dark, veiled. No treble clarity and no treble information. I mean, just trash. It's terrible. These are for critical listening, enjoying music, gaming, and that's the reason why you see them being used. And you got these enthusiasts. I'm not even going to call them professionals. The DMS, the headphone shows, the critical. I'm not even going to call them professionals. They're enthusiasts. They have audio gear all over the walls and all this shit. They're nerds, they're dorks. I mean, you look at their microphone selection, it's fucking pathetic. Unlike me, I use Neumann TL103s. So that's all I really wanted to say. I was going to make a bunch of videos. Actually. But, you could just argue it's subjective. Why even bother? Most people can't hear the difference between audio equipment anyway. And they just listen to whoever, they're subscribed to and they're the biggest fans of. If they're a fan of, some reviewer, they're going to, parrot whatever they say. That's what they care about more than sound quality. That's what I've found. People who sit in these hobbies, they just have no life and they just want to listen to their favorite reviewer, their favorite, it's like a lot of hobbies where it's like, everybody has an opinion. There's no point arguing. And, luckily the shit I use, especially the DT990, is just wildly popular. And it triggers them. And they're sad, pathetic, echo chamber, hustling, product people, communities. Snake oil, shills, company suck-ups, kiss asses. And then in the real world, DT990s getting used all over the place. And at the end of the day, that's what matters, not what these little niche, enthusiast communities think.